Greetings from the right coast. This is Mad Shad. Car video. I'm currently at work painting something, as you can tell from my my urban camouflage. Yeah. Urban camouflage. Going gray, man. I'm just a painter, bro. Yeah, man. Anyway, we're going to talk about today. My background, I was a corrections officer for a while in a place. So and I was a Leo. Basically been a Leo. I've been a bouncer. Of people with skills of knuckleheadedness often find their path in that kind of field. That field of it's really hard on your body though, and the mind. Plus the friends you make. I walk around now. I go to Walmart. I'm like, I see. I threw you out of the club. I threw you out of the club. And, oh shit! You went to the police. You got the police called on you for that thing you did, and everybody's looking at me like, it's you. I'm like, hi, how you doing? Gotta go. Bye. Anyway, yeah, going gray. A lot of people are like, oh, it's you. They don't recognize me. Yeah, I guess because of the beard. So anyway, background in CO and Leo. Escape and evasion in the modern world. I've actually been on both sides of the law. Growing up as a kid, as a just a mischievous, rebellious kid, getting into trouble and doing shit. Being a scared white boy in a black neighborhood. Get to learn some things. And one of them is escape and evasion. So, all my life, people in authorities always tell me, you keep going the way you're going, you're going to end up in prison. They were right. They were right. Yeah. Except I had the handcuffs and the keys. So, just a few quick stories. I'm going to try to condense this as fast as possible. Because I'm just on a little break here, and I don't want to waste all of your time. I guess I'm known for these long, drawn-out, just rambling fucking videos. So, growing up in the ghetto, inner city kid, I had a mohawk and a skateboard, and anyway, all that shit. Yeah. So, sometimes people don't like you. Sometimes people don't like you for the color of your skin, for what color t-shirt you were wearing at that day. you were false flagging, you were black flagging, you were whatever you were representing some bad colors. You had the wrong sports team on hat that day or something, or they think that you seen something that they did. And these gangsters will come after you and chase you to the ends of the earth. And I would go everywhere. I explored every aspect of my place, and so I found myself in different hoods. I remember I went to one hood. You get to know, like, if you know people there, and like, hey, come see me. Yeah, I'll be there. We'll hang out, do some shit, talk some shit, whatever, go do something. And you would go to these places, and people just be standing around. And you're like, why are these people just standing around? A whole bunch of people. Over here, group over here, group over there, group over there. And as soon as I roll up, next thing you know, all these people just kind of encircle me. Who the fuck are you? Why are you here? And looking back on it and evaluating it, you get to, hindsight's being 20/20. Two guys grabbed me, threw me up against the wall, started going through my shit. And one guy steps back one guy's back while the other two guys had me up against the wall, you know, yoked up. And the other guy, just standing there, starts interrogating me. Who the fuck are you? What's your name? What the fuck you doing? What the fuck is this in your pocket? And, you know, and then he's got, around him, he's got security. They're looking around. They're looking left, they're looking right. I'm like, oh shit. This is serious. You know, this is back in the 80s, so I mean, you know, there was no cell phones. If you had a pager, you were, you know, you were doing something else. You had a pager. I was just some, you know, some kid, some teenager with a skateboard. I might have had a knife or something. I always carried a knife or, you know, or some kind of weapon. You just, you know, whatever. But you know, they start asking me questions, they start pushing me around, you know, kind of poking at me, and then they start threatening me. We're gonna fuck you up. We're gonna take you around the back here. We're gonna fuck you up. We're gonna fuck you up. And I just remember just be like, oh shit. Okay. Fuck. No. Let's not do this. I'm coming to see a friend. And who's your friend? It's so and so over there. And you know, we're friends in school. And you know, he's like, you're not supposed to be around here. Da 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 da. Don't you know what set this is? And you know, they're throwing all these gang signs. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, I didn't know this shit. And you know, they're gonna take me around back and whoop my ass or possibly kill me. They said they're gonna kill me. So you know, two guys, they got me up against the wall, and they're slapping around and punching me and shit. And well, when they grab me to escort me around the back, everybody turns and faces in the direction that they're going. And even the two guys, they just kind of like grab me by the scruff of my shirt, and they're facing the other way, and they kind of relax a little bit. You know, they were all hard, you know, exerting their force and strength against me, and then they just relax and just kind of push me along. And that's when I said, phew, I was gone. Poof, gone. And I was gone. They were like, oh shit. I mean, by the time I was down the road and around the corner, that's when they turned around and were like, motherfucker. And they started chasing me. And me as a kid, if I got in the woods, I was gone. I was a fucking deer. And so, left my skateboard. Yeah. They got some change or something, and I don't know, maybe a knife. But I never went back there again. And got back at school next day, and they're like, man, those guys were gonna kill you. They did not like you. They thought you were the narc and all this and that. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I was coming to see you, man. He's like, yeah, they come to see me too. He was mad because I dropped his name. I'm like, sorry. I mean, they were fucking going to kill my ass. And he told me who they were and what they were doing. They were selling drugs, and that was their turf and all that. And I was like, fuck, man. I don't know none of this shit. Now I do. But looking back, it was telling. They were looking around. They had the interrogator. They had the heavies, you know. Carrying forward, remember the story story of this guy I was involved with chasing. Yummy. Not COVID. It's probably cancer. Smoked too much. But this guy had fucking did some stupid shit in the bar. He had literally stole some shit, created a big fucking scene, and he had basically put this girl in a coma. I mean, just hit her right in the head and knocked her down, stomped on her head, and took off. Took off with you know, just fuck. And you know, no, and he took off. He was out. And luckily the cops were there. And so I don't know, this was years ago. I got out of the Marine Corps and got this job as a bouncer at this club, and you know, I'm in a 3-piece suit or 2-piece suit. I had a jacket and a flashlight and some slacks and my boots. That's all I had. That's all you could do. But You know, it was one of those highfalutin kind of places, and this guy's acting a fool. And they didn't know who he was, so I had to go and make sure that we get his identification and all that, and figure out who the fuck he was, because he owed a bunch of money, and yada, yada, yada. So I stayed on him, stayed with the police and everything. They chased this motherfucker down. He took off like a bat out of hell, crossed the road, through a residential area, jumped a fence, went through the backyard, jumped another fence. And now these fences were like 7-8 feet high, you know, just whoosh, whoosh. I mean, he did some funky ass crazy parkour shit. This motherfucker was gone. And a little skinny motherfucker too. Probably 6'2", but maybe weighed 120 pounds, but he was fucking gone, you know. And did that, went across the road, went to another person's yard, jumped the fence and went up the road. They had the helicopters out, they had the sirens going, you know, and I'm just kind of walking, kind of running and walking behind them, you know, with my cell phone going, yeah, I'm you know, da 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 da. And the cop was like, who the fuck are you? I was like, I'm the bouncer, I gotta get his info. He owes a bunch of money. I'm waiting for the capture so we can get, you know, information on this kid. And I say kid, but you know, whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. And so I'm with the chase, and you know, watching it as they get him. It was truly amazing. It's truly amazing. He did all that, went up the road, gave him the slip, and they had the helicopters with the lights, and they were on his ass, because that chick was fucked up. They were gonna nail his ass. He fucked that bitch. He fucked that chick up. I'm sorry. I don't know what she did. I don't know, whatever. She didn't deserve getting her head split open and you know, blood everywhere. Anyway, not gonna go into that. But yeah, he fucked this chick up. And so, please excuse me for my language. I'm sorry. You know me, I get very animated. So he does all this crazy parkour shit and gives these guys a slip, and he gets up the street, and he takes refuge underneath a boat in a fenced-in yard underneath a boat. Nobody knows he's there. You know, the helicopter's going over, and canines are there. Canines are there. There's like two canine units there, and they're sweeping. They're walking with the dog and the guys with the flashlights, and neighbors are starting to come out and look around, going, what's going on? You know, and next thing you know, the dog is like just walking. He just, that's it. It's on. They know. The dog knows where the fuck he's at, and he's going after him. And he goes around, jumps fences, and goes around, sniffs around, and finds this guy underneath a fucking boat with his phone, trying to text his friend and like, hey, come get me. And I never forget when they pulled that guy out of the boat, out underneath that boat, he was screaming, ah! He's like, we got him, we got him, we got him, we got him. You know, and they went and got his ass, and they pulled him out, and he's all bloodied up and shit. And he's like, man, I was just laying there, and all of a sudden, I thought I'd give y'all a slip. Y'all just went right by me, man. Y'all just went right, and next thing I know, all I seen was teeth and fur, and pain. And you know, of course, that's when that's when the homeowner woke up and was like, what's going on? But I mean, yeah, they got him. I got the information. I'm the big hero. Yeah, not really. But whatever. I got some brownie points for that one. But my point is that escape and evasion, you better be, you only have seconds. Fucking seconds to get the hell out of town. Get the hell out of Dodge. To Didi Mao. To Didi Mao. And it's very, very hard, especially when you're dealing with professionals. Some things that we did overseas where the powers that be at the time were not so professional, and us Marines were able to take off into the darkness, into the heat of the night,
Mediterranean heat of the night after doing some stupid shit. But that's whatever. That's neither here nor there. It's kind of like our thing, you know. You sack the country you go to, whatever libo town you fall into. Try to stay out of trouble, but anyway. Yeah. It's crazy. You got seconds, mere seconds. And from the CO point of CO perspective, I got a story. I used to work in solitary confinement, and there was a special way that you dealt with people. They only got 1 hour a day out of their cell, you know, because these are the worst of the worst. It was a medium maximum security prison, and I'm in solitary confinement with guys that have done something wrong to get there, you know, and they make it very obvious why they're there. You know, they're very violent, and they talk shit. You know, I know the guy's name is. I want to say it, but I can't. So anyway, I'm gonna call him Garage because it's kind of similar to the rest of the. Anyway, so yeah, Garage with this gangster guy from. He was relatively about my size, 6 foot, and at the time I was 190 pounds. And he always constantly just talk shit, you know, back behind the door, and just how he's gonna fuck everybody up, and fuck you, fuck this, fuck that. And it was kind of comical. And all the other inmates kind of, you know, like, that's funny. Yeah, you know, it was very entertaining sometimes. So, you know, 1 hour, they get 1 hour for rec. They get like 15 minutes for a shower. So they got to cuff up. And the way they cuff up is like a little door, and you're supposed to put back yourself up to it. And the door was at right where the dangling arm's length is, and you reach in there and you take the cuffs and you put them on. You tell them to step back away from the door, face the wall, and you open the door. You grab them by the cuff and you escort them out. And they got their shower shoes on, and you know, or they got their rec shoes on. They're going to go out for rec or whatever. And you know, and the procedure was to grab one arm. I usually grab one arm, you know, like underneath here, like grab the bicep from the back, and then I grab the chain of the handcuff. Well, Mr. Garage, which we already knew, because you know they gather intel on people. It's good to know, you know, who the dangerous ones are. That he was known for slipping right out of handcuffs. There's this thing that you can do with your thumb, and if you push it, it fucking hurts like hell. I've done it, but you can literally dislocate your thumb. But once you do it, it fucks up your hand forever. It hurts me just doing that. So once you pop that that thumb out, then you're able to literally just slip right out of the handcuff. And he's known for that. He could just do it at will, just because the more you do it, the easier it is to do it. You know, you're basically reverting. You're going back in time in evolution when our hand used to be like this, and now it's like this, and you're popping that back, whatever. Anyway, so I got him, and I think he was I was taking him to the shower. He shut up. He was quiet. Everything was cool, you know. And that was procedure. Went through the procedure. Cuff up. He cuffed up. Stepped back away. You know. And it's just me. I've got another guy downstairs. He's at the door. It was a 2-tier kind of place. And I'm walking him from his door, and then turning and escorting him down towards the steps. And then you go past. It was his place. Another door that went out to the rec, and then a door facing a wall facing this way with another inmate door there. And that's when he decided to slip out of the handcuffs. And as soon as he slipped out, he went to turn, because these guys are fucking violent, and it happens like that. Like that. Violence happens like that. It's just boom, and you're nailed. They've hit you. You've stomped. You've been hit. You've been knocked down. You're on the ground. You're getting your ass stomped. They're grabbing keys and they're trying to get it the fuck out of there, or whatever. Or they're gonna whoop your ass and keep whooping your ass until, you know, somebody comes and whoops their ass. So as soon as he does that, I still had positive control of the cuff, of the chain of the cuff, and he hasn't slipped out of that one. I immediately pulled that one up and just took my foot and kicked him right in the ass, and he hit the door, the inmate door in front of him, just boom, face planted right into the fucking door, face all sideways like, and I took his arm. There's a move called the rack. We'll have to go over that, where this side of the face goes this way, this arm and shoulder and everything goes that way. So I've done that, and it's called the rack, and it's fucking painful. It's fucking painful. And so I've got that. I've got my foot on his ass, and now I've got one arm jacked back, and you know, my hand is on his back of his neck, and he's just like, oh fuck you, you know. And the place is going wild. They're going mad. Fuck you. They're beating on the doors and walls. It's a crazy fucking situation. And I held him there, and I had him. He wasn't going anywhere. And the guy downstairs, he comes up. The CO downstairs comes up and is like, holy shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, I told you about him. I told you about him. I mean, fuck, man. Garage, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Fuck you. And we just grab him and, you know, man, you know, threw as he fought and kicked, and you know, we had to throw him down to the ground, take the handcuff off of him because they don't work, and we literally yanked him up in the rack. You put your hand right here, or you grab here, and you grab this bicep from the back and the arm, or you can get in the arm bar, and we got him like that. And there's two of us, and we throw him in his fucking cell. He hits the ground, you know, he hits the deck, and we slam the door and say, okay. Enjoy your rec time. Enjoy your bird bath, because you're not getting any more. That's it. You're done. But yeah, shit like that. Shit like that happens all the time. So, if you're going to do an E&E for whatever reason, you got to have the element of surprise, and you got to have a quick E&E escape and evasion plan. It's got to be quick, and you got to be gone. Preferably, you got to get in a car that is not yours, or it cannot be traced back to you. That's very very difficult to do now in this day and age, where there's eyeballs everywhere. The walls have ears, the walls have eyes and ears, and everybody's got a cell phone and they're taking pictures. But then you got to get to a location where nobody can see where you're at, and then change cars again, or get on foot, and then go change your appearance and get out. That's the thing. Hey, it's a puppy. That's probably the best way. That you know. Or you're on foot, and if there's Leos in the area already, if there's I don't want to say Leos, if it's an organized effort to find you, so to speak, there's pretty much nothing you can do. Even if you try to fight. We know the stories of the people that have tried to escape, because they lived to tell it. Those who have tried to fight back, we only know one story, and that's the story you hear in the obituaries, because they fought and they got lit up, and that's it. If they survive, they try to sue, you know. But anyway, your E&E plan, you better be 5 steps ahead of the game. 5 steps. If you're being assaulted, if your castle is being overrun, then you better have a clear, concrete, and discreet E&E plan, or a plan to E&E, exit your meat suit, so to speak. So there's a lot of talk and rumors and conjectures of lockdowns and things of that nature. And when that happens, I don't know. I mean, if you're out and about, then they're going to get you. They're going to get you. Don't fuck around. Don't fuck around. Rule number 1, never get caught. Rule number 2, don't do anything that would lead to your capture, i.e. some kind of criminal activity or nefarious, activity or something that's going to draw attention to yourself. That's it. Rule number 1, never get caught. Yeah. So, I mean, rule number 2, don't do anything in the first place. If it's too risky, just don't do it. Just nope. Nope, not gonna do it. No, thank you. I don't feel like getting a fur missile on me. I don't feel like getting tasered and all that. Oh yeah, that guy. As going back to the first story, that guy that was under the boat, he had already changed his hoodie, got a hat on. He had already changed his appearance, and he was already calling his friend for exfil. He had already changed his appearance and everything, and he was ready. He was almost gone, almost out of there. He almost made it. But that fur missile, it was already a big scene, tumultuous scene. It's 12 something at night, and people are usually in their homes, but when there's sirens and helicopters above and dogs barking and cops everywhere, then yeah, people come outside, and people are talking and people are like, what the fuck's going on? What? So yeah, things to think about, things to consider, your E&E plan. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm ready to go back in and finish up on this painting, get paid and go home. But yeah. This is Mad Shad signing off.